Childhood vaccines cause a 9-year-old girl from Georgia her autism symptoms. Hannah polling on her first birthday. 7 months later, her mother, a registered nurse, says something was wrong.
Hannah started demonstrating several symptoms of classic autism, such as staring at lights, running in circles, and looking at fans.
The symptoms began after a series of vaccinations, 9 in all. Some doctors say the vaccinations may have aggravated a pre-existing disease in Hannah's brain called mitochondrial disease. Once that happened, Hannah's father, a neurologist, believes it triggered her autism.
Following vaccination, that illness produced stress leading to permanent brain injury as manifested by autism and seizures.
Chris, if I might, yesterday we did receive an order to proceed to a damage determination in this case, and it points out that on November 19th, 2007, the government filed a Rule 4 report which indicated that the government believed that Hannah had an underlying mitochondrial disorder, which was aggravated by all the, or exacerbated by all the vaccinations she received on July 19th, and it led to a regressive encephalopathy with autism. At that time, they did not concede that the seizure disorder that started about 6 years later was related to vaccinations. However, on February 21st of this year, another Rule 4 report was filed after we had filed some expert reports addressing that fact, and they conceded the seizure disorder was related to vaccinations as well.
I think the bottom line is our daughter was born normal. She developed normally for the first 18 months of life. There were no signs of any underlying genetic disorder. Then she was vaccinated, she became ill. That illness eventually led to a diagnosis of autism, then later seizures. I think that's the bottom line, and that vaccines were related to her illness. I think that Hannah's case, and as other parents out there hear her story, I think her case is echoed among thousands of other similar cases. And I know a lot of other medical experts are going to get out there and say that this is a very unusual, oddball case, and we don't really think it is at all. I mean, we just very thoroughly investigated the biomedical issues going on with our daughter. We followed every single medical lead. We didn't just take autism as a diagnosis and stop there. We did every type of medical testing you can imagine and eventually came up with this mitochondrial issue. Mitochondrial disorders are seen in relatively high frequency in children who have autism. In fact, one study shows that maybe it's up to 7%. In our study with Dr. Zimmerman, we showed 38% had certain markers of abnormalities, which this really needs a lot of further study and a lot of research dollars. There is a small susceptible population.
And that's what
we really need to look at.